I am a 6'2" splenic ego manifester. But what I really wanted to say is that that costume powers a cross of incarnation, a 24 line 6, 44 line 6, 7 line 2, 13 line 2. For those of us from other dimensions of my world who don't understand those numbers, you know who I am. You know I invent things, and I lead just by expressing myself as I be. And as I walk through the world, listening and hearing and leading, I invent tools that help us understand ourselves in the world a little bit better. That's what those numbers mean to me. And so with that being said, what I am going to share with you is a little bit of a combination of what a lot of you have already seen from me. But this is the ecosystem now put in a Venn diagram, so that it's easier for others to understand. So just know I'm starting from a really vulnerable place of, oh, this is my insides being shown on the outside. Oh my gosh. And so I thank you for being here, for witnessing me, and for hopefully coming along on the ride with me. I've been a huge supporter of high desert human design since the very first year. And what was made apparent to me over these 5 years of watching it and being involved and doing my best to be in the ecosystem as myself. Ra talks about it in one of his generator lectures. He talks about it's somebody else's job to build a deconditioning program, because this is really for the children, his information. So there's like a big middle ground. As soon as I heard that, I was like, oh yeah, here I am. That's my job. I felt it immediately when I heard him, was this middle ground that he talks about, this interregnum. We are here as the edge pushers, making space for, building ground by embodying and bringing emotional intelligence into the embodied human experience. That's our job. It's kind of a big deal. And so this space that I noticed that I came to every 5 years that has been the largest global coming together of people that speak this language, what I noticed was that, not bad, wrong, or shameful. If you know something about me, you know that I love all of the get down dirty of everything. I love the light and I love the dark. So this is never a bad, wrong, and shameful. But what I did notice was that people struggled with that. Yes, this is my design and my strategy and authority, and the filter through their conditioning. For me, it was the inability to even hear my body talk to myself through my trauma, through my conditioning, through my belief systems. There's a process that I had to go through to really hear her. And so what I noticed was that beautiful struggle in life that we have to marry the two of us, to marry the mind and the body, to marry the field with the being, right? To be in it together. That's our process, what we're doing. So what I noticed is that there could be a structure. And what I mean by structure is not something that is rigid. As an ego manifester, if you tell me the rule, I will immediately break it. I do not. So what I'm not saying a structure as in a rule. I'm saying from a position of someone who has Chiron and Sun conjunct, what this means for me is that I was in foster care. I was not mothered or fathered in any meaningful way, except for by nature, except for by the world around me, except for by the dirt and the trees and the birds and the patterns that my 6447 watched in the world around me, my 1333 heard in the world around me. I could see that there was a pattern of predictable behavior that I could trust in nature that I couldn't necessarily trust in the world around me, except for that. So that's what mothered and fathered me. Well, when I met human design, I saw this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I said, oh, somebody else knows about this too. And I started developing this word mapping of what happens when I'm insecure. What do I do? Oh, what does the seed do? it investigates, it sends down roots, it sits still and it listens. What does the bird do? What does the deer do when it's afraid? So I started putting together these word bubbles of what it means to be in a 1 and in a 2 and in a 3 and in a 4 and in a 5 and in a 6. And I started using that to guide my decisions. I was a very young mother at 14, and so I didn't know mothering either. And so I used this to mother. The reason I'm saying all of this is because I have used this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 as a way in my practice to help people understand where they are on the map of deconditioning, where they are on the map of, oh, this neurology was given to me, but this feeling is more true. How do I marry this? And this is the map that process follows. You see it everywhere. So what I've done is I've built an ecosystem that supports the cyclical nature of human evolution by connecting the people who've been there with the people who are now arriving. That's what I always felt about every forest I ever walked into. I was like, oh, these guys have been waiting for me to tell me everything that their bark is telling me. These squirrels have been waiting for me to sit still long enough so that I can hear them chitter-chattering back and forth. They have been waiting. They have been sitting here waiting so beautifully, all of nature, for us to just see how beautifully aligned and it choreographed in our favor it all is, and telling us the story constantly. It's always telling us the story. Whenever I'm confused, I'll look out there and I'll see the story. I'll find it eventually. So I built an ecosystem that holds that process for human beings, and high desert human design is at the center of it. This is, come on. Okay, so high desert human design is at the center of it, but what we have is what I've built is a WisdomKeeper program, and a spiral is what I call it. It's the app, but it's called the spiral. And I'll get into that later. But what all three of these things are doing is supporting the evolution of consciousness through the hexagram structure. We're supporting the evolution of consciousness through remembering that there's no starting and finishing, that this is a spiral of everything, and that just when you think you've got it, you start again. And so I've built this ecosystem that has us build capacity for that in-breath and out-breath of, oh, I've got it. No, I don't. Oh, I've got it. No, I don't. And the wisdom that comes from allowing and surrendering to that ability to regulate yourself and build capacity. There's wisdom that comes from that. Because when we investigate, when we allow ourselves to naturally embody, when we explore and test the things, when we tell our friends what we know, when we say, oh shit, I don't think I believe in that anymore, even though that's what I've been doing for all of this time. And then you're like, oh, this is what I really am. That process is what this interregnum, I believe, are pushing the edges of. We are the first line, if you will. We are putting the roots down for a rave or an indigo or a rainbow or whatever you subscribe to the new human being called. This mutation that is coming is a mutation that says emotions are awareness, not motors. You and me, were taught they were motors. You piss me off, I do something about it. That's motor activity. That's not just awareness, right? Emotional intelligence is what we are here to do, in my belief. In my, not just belief, it doesn't come from my brain, it comes from a pulse in my body, is that we are here to maintain sovereignty, authenticity, individuality, in emotional sovereignty as well, in the ability to stay regulated, in the ability to have capacity to disagree, to have capacity to hold paradox, to have capacity to look outside and know that something else has been here longer and it can tell you the answer. So we're growing in this, and this is the ecosystem I built to hold that. Now, the participants that come into this, I'm telling you the backstory. Everybody that comes into this, it's not going to be this deep. It's just going to be this experience, right? I want to make it so that this knowing that I'm sharing with you right now is a background frequency. If anybody knows astrology, it's like the Vesta or the Hestia. It's the thing that's not talked about, but everybody's nurtured by. And so this is the ability to hold a structure that allows us to move through the spiral with equanimity, with authenticity, and with capacity to hold dissonance. If you've never heard my Spiral of Everything talk, you guys, I just listened to it again. Normally, I don't listen to my own voice. It does a little something with my frequency, but I listened to it yesterday and I cried. I was so impacted by my own dang self. And I felt really excited because that's a first for me. I feel like I'm a grown up a little bit, that I can hear what I've said without critiquing it. And so I'm very proud of it. And there's a little QR code right there on the screen that you can have it for free if you want to. And you can listen to it and you can hear what I mean when I say that we will be holding a nurturing space for the evolution of consciousness without it having to be intellectualized. You and I were some of the first groups here. So we, of course, have to intellectualize it and then embody it. I want to build a space where embodiment is built in. So there's that talk that you can hear about the psychological spectrums of consciousness that human beings go through in each of these spirals. That when I work with the wisdom keepers, you guys that facilitate things in this field, you will fit into one of these categories. Your offering will be one of these things. And I will work with you so that you can find what that is. But you will be holding that frequency for the field. And your offering will reflect that spectrum of consciousness. Now, I know it's probably, oh gosh, I don't have something like that, but you already do. As a nature of being who you be, you have wisdom that you have moved in order to get it into wisdom, right? From knowledge into the body, into wisdom. It has to move through these 6 steps. Nothing in universal matter, from the cosmos to our cellular nature, sustains without moving through this 6 steps. Prove me wrong. I've got a fully defined ego. I've done the work to at least, maybe not everywhere, right? I can't be right all the time, but I want you to know that I've put a lot of efforting into seeing where that could be wrong, and I haven't found it. I want you to know that I am a doctoral candidate and have been for 8 years now, because I was writing my thesis on proving human design wrong as a pseudoscience. Here I am, still a doctoral candidate. Probably will always be, because I don't need it anymore. So my point is, this manifestor initiation comes from denial, right? Comes from wanting it to be wrong and have not found that place yet. And so this ecosystem I have built is supportive of my own experiment, right? This ecosystem I've built, the reason that I put it in a Venn diagram is because you don't have to participate in all of it or any of it. You could participate just as a facilitator in human design at High Desert Human Design Live, not participate in the Spiral app, not participate in the WisdomKeeper program. You can participate in WisdomKeeper and not the others, the Spiral and not the others. This is just the ecosystem in which I've built. And I know this is a static 2-dimensional thing, but I hope you can see it as a moving spiral. And so the ways that they come together are through embodied leadership in the community. Facilitators are forged in live relational spaces. What is important to me in my practice and what I serve to people and have helped other wisdom keepers come to is this understanding that your lived experience is the compost that we can package and sell to the world. You don't have to make it any kind of different anything, that you have exactly what you need to be lived and relational and wise, just as a consequence of your existence. And Ra also talks about this. He talks about, and we all talk about it in our places and spaces, I've heard us all say it, that authenticity is the new currency, or after structures crumble, the only thing that is going to ensure survival, right? I'm not the doomsday kind of person, but is an individuated, authentic expression. And so I've built a structure for us to be resourced that way practically. And that is this 3-dimensional thing that you're looking at. So the Spiral app will bring practice and transmission, right? Live it before you teach it. It'll give an experience and a ground for both facilitators and participants or seekers or people who are just in our fractal, in our field, to receive your transmission live. Why that's important for me as a manifester, when I'm in the mix of something and really excited about it, that's when I give my most potent transmission. But because it's not perfected form, no one ever sees it. I bet lots of people in the room are like that. That you have probably videos and videos and videos that no one has ever seen because they weren't perfect or they weren't right. This spiral, this structure that I have created creates this relationship between you and other people that understands that you are a human just like they are a human. And when we take this pedestal, my teacher knows everything has arrived idea out of the equation, then we stop calling each other not selves. We stop blaming each other for things. So I'm really removing a lot of relational barriers that I have seen over 5 years in our development as a community. Okay. Sometimes I'm like a fire hose to the face. So are there any questions yet? Okay. All right. So let's get to why you're here, right? I gave you all of the background. You are here to facilitate something at High Desert Human Design. And so I wanted to give you that background so you know where I'm coming from and where the roots of this creation have been and where you're meeting it. And what we're offering here is an experience Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And we'll have indoor offerings. I have 3 rooms, beautiful rooms that we can imagine any kind of thing in. They're big enough to house a lot of people, but just right, small enough to not feel like you're lost in a big ballroom. So I really enjoy that, low enough ceilings. There will be 3 rooms. One of the rooms will be a streaming room. It will be streaming all day long. We're going to sell streaming tickets. One of the rooms is going to be a room that holds lectures or things that people can walk in and out of that are like 60 minutes to 90 minutes long. If you have a talk, if you have an offering, if you have a something that's 60 to 90 minutes long and people can walk in and out of it, that will be that room. And then there will be another room that has 3-hour workshops in it. No walking in and out of those spaces. These are going to be privately held spaces for the people who have signed up for those workshops and for the facilitator to take them through an entire process without interruption. And so that will be happening all day long. We have what's called the Hotel Glorietta working with us. Thank you to Richard for actually initiating that relationship with them. And they really want to work with us. They know High Desert Human Design's reputation in town. And she's just so thrilled to work with us that she is taking the deposit as I receive donations. And she's negotiating with me depending on how much money we raise or bring to the table to be able to have it held there. That's how much they want to work with us. So these spaces are beautiful. It's a hotel. It has a little cute little cavey lounge. It has a big communal like kitchen area. It has hiking. It has a pool and a spa and a sauna and a grass area. It has little townhouses if you don't want to stay in the hotel. It just has a lot of amenities that I'm excited about. Okay. So along with those indoor offerings each day, we're going to have that integration space inside as well. Inside or outside, it depends on what's going on that day, whether it's like an outside in the grass kind of integration space or if it'll be an inside cozy integration space. But I always want to have a space for people to come if they don't want to be in any of the things. If they're they just need to want to be and sit with people in a right brain kind of way. That's available. And the gym will always be made available for the left brain relaxing or the left bodied relaxing. I also want to introduce field notes or field experiences. Every day of the conference, I will invite a facilitator to take people out into the world to experiment using their design. I do it in retreats, at adventure retreats on the river or at the grocery store. take people and have them pick out their melons next to somebody and really pay attention to what it feels like in your body to pick out your melons next to somebody else in their aura. But let's go actually have experiments in the real world with real people with our designs. So every day I would love to have a field experience, field trip kind of thing. And then so there will be 2 outdoor activities each day, one in nature or at a cultural thing. We have some of the most beautiful cultural places to visit. We have museums. We have just amazing spots. So I would love to have somebody every day take someone on a tour to see some of these places, to orient us to the place that we're in. So that's the structure of the event itself. Let me share that Thursday, there will be 5 facilitator slots. Friday through Sunday, there'll be 12 each day. So that's 40 to 45 facilitator slots if we do panels and things like that. These spaces that I have and this structure that I'm holding is only to allow your individuation within so everyone can know what to expect. So I'm going to give you a lot of ideas along the way here about what you can do, but you share with me what your genius is, and we'll find where it fits in the spiral and where we can put you in a room. This is a dialogue. I do have a programs committee that we've created, a council, and we are going to take all of the facilitator applications and we are going to pace this. We are going to put all of these experiences in a way that support each other and in a way that support the nervous system capacity of the facilitators and the people involved. So we are not going to have something like a 5th line Royal Rumble panel and then right afterwards a meditation, right? The program, which that actually might be the best way to do it, if I'm honest, now that I've said it out loud. But anyway, you get my point. We're going to pace it in a way that is nervous system regulating, or at least allowing participants to move from one thing to another with ease. I absolutely loved the way Jonah did it for the past 5 years. He said, you have to use your body's wisdom or you're going to have so much FOMO and so much anxiety that you're not going to have fun at all. He just threw us all in there. And it was true. The first year, we all did way too much and we all got sick. The second year, we didn't do enough and we didn't go to most of the things and we all just ended up communing together. The third line, we all were late and missing things the third year. There was little things that happened every single year where everybody was dysregulated, and that was something that 50% of the people liked and 50% of the people didn't like. So I wanted to be able to hold space here for a wild experience, but also here's the nest. Go have your wild experience. To have both the yin and the yang. I'm going to go through what each of these means real quick, and then I'm going to ask you if you can see yourself in the spiral, and I'm going to ask you to share so that I can see if this is understood in the way I'm hoping it to be. You can see the color coding here is the chakra systems. There's a lot of symbology in a lot of these visual arts that I've made. But to understand where you are at the spiral, where your offering is, not your most polished one. You can give your most polished one if that's the one you want to give. But I'm just inviting you into growth space. I'm inviting you to live out loud. This might be my 6th line talking, but I believe that my impact is mostly felt when I evolve out loud, right on the edge of my own evolution. Oh shit, I just found this out and you watched me find this out. So I get to make spaces and places for that to happen. And I get to invite you into that too, because this is how you regulate your emotions. You allow yourself to be seen in the exact state in which you're in. And so I invite you to find whatever state you're in. For instance, that spiral of everything talk that I'm super, super excited about, that's not the space I'm in right now. The edge of the space that I'm in my creative zone, is in extending mythologies, because I don't like the way they end. I hate Plutos, I hate Chirons, I don't like Prometheuses. So I'm in the mix of changing them to suit me. That's very vulnerable stuff to talk about, right? That's not something that, but I'm sharing that in groups. And I want to invite us all to share the living edge of where we are, because this is how I build capacity for love, for being seen, for being honest. It's for showing you the edge of where I am. So where I would show up if I was facilitating and I was going to do a lecture, I would probably do a lecture on Prometheus after he was freed. And that might be a heretical thing to do. So I might do a learned heresy thing. So let me go into what this could look like for you. And these are just examples. I've written out what I've done in the past so that you could see how I've embodied this. Now take it and use it for your own language. But we all know what the first line themes are, right? So I'll do a Human Design 101 in a lecture. That's the spectrum of consciousness that the human being is going through in front of me is from insecurity to security, is from not known to known. This is the time where I'm allowing their brain to fight me, right? And giving them all the reasons why what I'm saying could be okay, and the brain rests. And now that the brain rests, because I've given them the Human Design 101 by telling them every constituent and every science that matches every ancient wisdom and how it comes together, and I show them maps and science reports and all the things. And now their brains are like, okay, I'm going to stop fighting her now. And now we get into aura experiments. But we're not going to be in the aura if our minds are telling us that this is bullshit. You see, there's a process that everybody goes through here, but we have a teaching. You have a teaching. You're genius. I call it compost. It is if you look out in the world, this teaching from worms and from everything is compost. Everything as a consequence of it being what it is has something that comes out of it. We are collecting wisdom as a consequence, as our compost, as our living our life, as our meeting our mythology and our mechanics. We have compost that is wisdom. And so this is where your wisdom will just be structured in the lines of the hexagram. So I hope it's not too confusing. If I'm in the third line or the family, I would do this observation walk, right? I would take people down the plaza and I would have them walk in the midst of people to see what it feels like to, oh no, or oh yeah, oh no, and to get into that experience. In the community, I would do panels so that everybody could come together in our same fractal and talk about some same thing. Maybe I would do an interview in the fifth line of the history and future of human design. I would have somebody come and talk about what they think it may look like in the future, how we could practically bring it into the world. One of those kinds of lectures. Maybe in the sixth line there, I would do a one-on-one, right? We've got to think about all of the first line things that somebody is going through. And again, I'm not going to go through this in depth with every single one of them. This is what I do in my WisdomKeeper program, is help you take your authentic wisdom and your compost and put it in these buckets and make something and offer it to the world. And I've built an app in which you can live. All your stuff can live. But that's something that supports the conference. And I'm getting ahead of myself. Okay. So let me just go into 2 and let you look at that for a bit. Again, I'm not going to go deeply into it, but what I am going to say in line 2, we are teaching people to feel their natural taste. We are giving people experiences to be in their bodies. We are moving them into allowing themselves to be seen in safety. So there's a lot of psychological things that happen in a second line spectrum of consciousness. A third line spectrum of consciousness, right? This is all about being able to find the fun and not the pessimism in the human experience, being able to know that we are here to be martyrs of what has been, and we are here to be edge pushers. And in this realm, in the individual, relationship, family, community, humanity, collective, right? These words that I'm showing you are the spirals or dimensions of life that we can choose from. So for me, for Dewan, he has a beautiful spirit lecture. Does he want to give it in a first line way? Does he want to do an embodiment experience about it? Does he want to give people the chance to come in with their own beliefs and test his? Does he want to actually build a community around his beautiful cosmology that he's built? I don't even know if he's here today or if he's coming on Sunday, but if any of Dewan, you know that he has a spiritual way of teaching. Stephanie has a very familial way of teaching, a very nurturing way of bringing community together in these shared experiences. So maybe that's the field that you're in, but you can choose 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? Which one do you want it to be? What are you on the living edge of? And again, that's not a rule. That's just my invitation or my ego-centered dare to bring to the table what you are on the edge of in your life so that we can, there is no so that. There's no exchange. I'm reprogramming my language. There is no so that.
Hey, Brandy, can you go back to slide 5 real quick? The 5.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. I'm going to make these available too. I'll send them to you so that you guys can see them after this as well. Because I know I went through all of that really fast, but I know we're only at 40 minutes. Thank you, Amy. Let me go back since we're only at 40 minutes. We'll go back to 3, 4. So in this space, there's a lot of workshops. There's people coming together. This is panels and lectures and opportunities and heart-centeredness. In line 4, right, we are moving from kindness to meanness or meanness to kindness and building capacity for all of it because it's all needed. So here could be heart-centered teachings. This ecosystem that I've built, if anybody knows a toroidal field in their mind, the inside is just human design language. The width is whatever modality we bring. Right? So this could be a heart-centered teaching. This could be consent-based sexual touch. Right? Anything can go in the spectrum. But it goes in the line 4 because that's when we're talking about keeping our heart open when touched by others. There's a lot of experiences, human experiences that can be held in this ecosystem that I've built. Rejection as alignment, keeping our hearts open. Have a teaching about, this is one of my most favorite teachings, is rejection as alignment and building our capacity, our bones for being able to expect and accept and be grateful for the rejection that we receive. And that's just something that is a matter of my compost that I have created for myself. This creation, you guys, I'm inviting you into this divine selfishness. I'm role modeling this divine selfishness. Everything you see here, I created for me. This isn't for you. This was for me to stay alive and not burn the entire fucking world down. I needed to learn how to move through this spiral. I needed to know that when I was mean, there was a reason for that going through my body, that I was just not a bad, wrong, and shameful person for that. That when I was pessimistic and when I was having fun, because there's somebody on every other parallel of you around you, I wasn't bad, wrong, and shameful. It helped me build confidence in my evolutionary journey of wisdom, in my experiment of human design. So I invite you to do the same. Because this is my compost. This, what I'm sitting here with you that I have pounding hearts about, this is my compost, just put into a Venn diagram. Okay, so 5th line. This is when I had to learn to take projection. This is when I had to learn and build capacity for the thing that I saw that I was like, duh, everybody could see that thing that nobody saw and everybody was angry at me for. And there was a lot of ways in my individual self, in my relationships, in my family, in my community, in humanity around me, in my spirit, that I had to work on, right? In myself, I had to work on boundaries. Even though I knew how to be compassionateness without boundaries is toxic on both sides. So this is a line 1, basic 5th line learning. And so when we're learning about these things from this embodiment perspective, the value I've found is that now we know human design. Now we're in the experiment of human design. We are not just sitting in an analyst's room listening to everybody's mind play tennis with each other. We are actually going into the body and saying, oh, you're having an experience in which when you were in your experiment of human design and you come out to your family and say, you know what, I'm not going to do that anymore. How the hell do you build capacity for that? What do you do now? Do you abandon yourself or do you abandon them? Or do we find something in the middle? We could sit and talk about human design all day long, but until we put these things into our bodies, we're not in our experiment, right? And these aren't things that everybody goes through, but this is a pattern of predictable behavior that we can see that a lot of people touch on the edges of. And again, what you see here, anything in writing is subject to polarities. And just know I don't like dealing in polarities. You're not this and you are this, and you're everything in between of this. And you might have this experience and you might not. But we have to put something in place so that we can be human together. And that's what this is. And that's what I'm inviting from you to bring to this conference. Your compost that helps us be human in this experiment, not just of human design, but of life. So if I was in my 6th line space, I remember it was a couple of years ago when I was like, I need a new teacher. I'm at the top of my game. I got it all. I understand everything there was to understand. And I was teaching about what's next in this guru life. And I was having this wonderful experience with my beloved and the sea and being who I was for everyone to see. And then the cycle started again. And all of that went away. And now here I am again. And this is what this line teaches. Allowing, not absorbing. How to do this together. A panel, right? Because none of us know. You guys, I wrote a book. Whoever bought my book, I'm sorry I took it off the shelves. I don't know. I don't know how to 9-centered relate. Let's come together in a panel and let's talk about it, because we together are pushing the edges of what that means and of what that looks like and of what that could possibly look like. Anyway, I didn't want to get stuck into some of these, but I wonder if you can see yourself here. I wonder, I just want to stop the share or maybe I'll leave the share on this screen, and I'd love to hear where you find yourself in the spiral and what's alive in you after you've heard this part of the share. This is the most important part. You can raise your hand if you want, and I'll call you in order. I usually like the anarchy of just going, but all right, Amy, dear.
I see myself in a couple places. First and foremost, some of the things that I've done on my own, some of the creations that I already have in place. I have a deconditioning the good girl. As a 3/5 emotional manifester, I see where that could hold a lot of value, maybe more in the fifth line, make it practical, lead type of thing. How it relates in the family, there's some 3rd line energy in that as well through my own experimentation. I also see, and I'm going to speak for this without even checking in with Monique, this very manifestor-like, but Monique and I, we have a business together, Love Human Be Spirit. It's a 5/1 emotional MG. She and I, together, make the channel of emoting. We have a beautiful offering, Seeing Yourself as a Non-Sacral. It's a deep dive into that. And I see that in so much of this. I don't have an undefined head and ajna. I don't have to know where it goes. I can just see it in multiple places and spaces. It's really exciting to just consider. So thank you for sharing it in the way that you did so that it was more clear for me to see myself in it.
Thank you for going first, sweet sister.
I prefer to.
I know. I love that about you. And yes, exactly as Amy said, you guys, they can fit in lots of places. We are not boxing ourselves in. We are just choosing the offering or the space that feels most aligned in our body at the moment, even if it can fit in other spaces. That's the invitation to you, is to stretch yourself and maybe bring it into another space. If I take Amy, can I use you for an example? Okay, great. This teaching that Amy has about the good girl, maybe there could be a teaching that talks about the purpose of good girl, the good girl mythology, right? What's next for the good girl. And we can move it into the 6th line, the live it, now I was a good girl, now I'm not a good girl. Now what does that look like? And something like that. So I invite you to stretch yourself if you want to, if it feels good. And you can do it in.
Yeah, essentially I'm past my Chiron return. I have 0 fucks to give. Like it's very much a reflecting on years and years of conditioning through my own lived experience. And I want to share it in ways that gives others permission to let go of something that no longer feels true.
So maybe you hold rage space. Maybe we go to the desert and you hold rage space. That is the role modeling. That's the live it. It fucking is in your body. Even though I'm a heretic about it, I'm so spicy about it because it's still alive in here. We get to go and let it exist in all of its glory, the rage that you haven't felt because you've been a good girl. Yeah. See? So I invite the stretching if you want, if it feels good. Thank you, Amy, again. Does anybody else see themselves and want to share?
I can go next, Brandy. Hello.
Hi.
So I have been offering in my local community, like you mentioned, the HD 101 type class. I call it Introduction to Human Design. That's something I enjoy sharing. And I also recently created content for what I'm calling the next chapter, which goes a little bit more into detail for people that have taken that or have a basic foundation. The next chapter class is more like hands-on, and there's some activities that are fun to do. I can see doing something like that if it works out. I have also shared like a 3-5 session within the Human Design Wisconsin group. I'm a 3-5 emotional manifester, and I have a lot of compassion for other 3-5s. And that could be an offering. It could be something where I share my own life experiences. I'm also post Chiron, so I've got a lot of them under my belt, and helping encourage other 3-5s just to accept where they're at and how their life is going. And it could be interactive where we could share as well. And then I also have an interest in if there were any panels that would be manifestor specific, emotional authority specific, or if anyone else wanted to talk about their Chiron experience, because it was a crazy ride. So I'd be open to sharing any of those.
Oh, lovely. Thank you. Gosh, that's so generous. There's so many things there to talk about and all that they can fit in. I heard a 1st line lecture. I heard this relationship embodiment. I heard this fractal opportunistness. I heard heresy. So it's really what I also want to share at this moment that I've heard from both of you that I also do, that I see a lot of us do, is we create this teaching. And there is an opportunity, here's a 2644, there's an opportunity for it to be broken down into ways that are more profitable for both people, both for the person offering it, because when you offer it in these stages, this one topic of, let's say, emotional manifestorness could go through all 6 lines. And you could have a forward-facing offering, right, Moniz? You could do a lecture about what it means. You could do an embodiment space to feel like what it feels like to be around a bunch of emotional manifestors. Woo! Or you could do an experiment of talking about what it's like to have urge and the need for clarity, urge and the wave. It could be something like that in an embodiment. It could be a field trip about going out in the world and seeing how people are impacted by an emotional manifestor's aura, and how you are as well. And I invite you to take it one step further into inviting people to know how to love you instead of just allowing this thing, if that's what's appropriate for you, to be able to inform about how to love you, how to say your magnificence profile. I know a few of you here have worked with me on that. And that's like your human design in an elevator pitch almost. I call it your magnificence profile. Anyhow, thank you for sharing. You'll fit everywhere. And we could take probably something that you offer the world in this snippet and break it into these 6 lines and create a, like I said, spiral that is more digestible and impactful to your users and more profitable for you. That's what this is too, because this is so many things, you guys, but we are moving into a way where the commerce that we are doing right now isn't going to work. I'm not going to speculate. I'm not going to talk about my opinions on that, but it's just not going to work necessarily. And this structure, this that I've created, will take our authenticity and make commerce with it, because people do want to pay you for what they are seeking. And when we can align us both in an authentic way, authenticity is the thread through everything I do. When we can do it that way, I think that's the new econ.
Can I jump? Oh, sorry. Go for it.
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah. Ooh, I love all my manifestor sisters are here.
Oh, thank you.
Where do you
Okay. Thank you for this invitation. Oh my gosh. And just the way, because there's a lot that I've done. And as you asked what is the edge now? I've been in the global cycles shifting studies quite a lot. And I could see offering an embodiment, like trance dance, composting the old age and this kind of rebirthing embodiment experiment. So there's that. And then also I've been doing some experiments with Sunny Venusian. I did a session leading folks through an inner child journey and this recovery. I don't know, just as we decondition and heal the trauma, the recovery of all that was there, that has been there, that is here. And so, yeah, I can imagine doing that. Was there anything else? Oh, yes. And something on parenting, a panel or something on, how to, this is my edge right now, is how to stay
in yourself. Worry about yourself.
Yep.
That is so valuable. I know I'm a mother, so I am biased, but I think that to be able to learn how to stay in our own lanes is the most respectful things we can do for our children. And it's so important to learn for all of us.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Stephanie. Thank you. Yay. Oh, look at 4 manifestors on the screen. That's all I see is only 4 pictures. So I think this is wonderful. And thank you for being here, everybody, not just manifestors. But it's really exciting that we all went first. Hi, Mari.
Hello, greetings, lovely beings.
Hello, hello. Thank you for being here.
Oh, thank you for the opportunity. I'm really honored, and I just love what you're up to. This is beautiful. I've never seen this.
I would love to know why I invited you, if you wouldn't mind. And this is important for all of us, I think. One of the reasons I invited you, there's a dimensional reason, but one of the reasons is that I wanted to bring in this, I see in you a lot of heretical commerce, a lot of being in the world as you are. Yeah, let's market it. But because there's still a mingling between the commerce that we used to do and the commerce that we are coming into. And so this mingling of, I see your brilliance in the old way of marketing, but the essence is the new way of being. And so I wanted you here to bring into the spiral this idea that it's not bad, wrong, and shameful to ask to be resourced for our compost. And how the hell do we do that in integrity? That's why I've invited you.
Thank you. Thank you. I got tears in my eyes, and I just feel that in my heart. That's really expansive. You just really impacted me. I am a 1-3 sacral generator with 10 line 1s. I'm in my 6th year of experiment. I'm a certified analyst, and I've gone pretty far down the rabbit hole with the International Human Design School and the BG5 Business Institute. And as Brandy just alluded to there, I have a very strong career in marketing, social media marketing for 20 years. I've been known as the top Facebook marketing expert. And that career has just been slowly very bloody dissatisfying, quite frankly. And as a 3rd line, it's the longest I've ever stuck with any one career. And I keep thinking I'm going to break the bond with it. And but as a 3rd line, it's kept me engaged because there's always something changing. And then human design came bounding back in my life in winter solstice of 2020. And it just was the perfect timing. And just this juxtaposition of living in a still a fairly 7-centered world and strategic and the old school way of the white male internet marketers. It does my head in how we don't live in a world that caters to emotional decision makers. I'm not emotional, but it's this whole midnight tonight, you snooze, you lose, countdown timer, come on, this pressure to make people decide to sign up, and shifting to more of a nine-centered approach. As soon as you said the word commerce a few minutes ago, who was sharing a minute ago, it was Stephanie. And I'm like, my whole body was like, yeah, commerce, money, profit potential. This is my jam. And it's like, how can we do that in a way that's just much more honoring of other people's type strategy and authority, and not being out there with the 65% of us that have that open heart center, just trying to prove ourselves, and just still that ego that flies around the social media. So I really appreciate the opportunity to be here, and more than happy to contribute. I completely see myself leading some kind of a session around commerce, marketing, business, social media, whatever would fit in with the bigger picture. More than happy to do that. And so thank you.
Thank you for being here. And again, I wanted this to demonstrate that all of us have compost. Whether our thing is to market or to hand, touch, heal, or to take photographs that make me feel empowered, we all have a purpose here. And so this ecosystem, I hope, and hope is not my view, I want, so I know it will happen, right? Because I'm also defined ego. So if I want it hard enough, my point. I want to create this ecosystem in which all of our natural geniuses, no matter if it be as a human design analyst, as a photographer, as a marketer, as a website builder, it doesn't matter what. We are all building an ecosystem of new commerce together, and we need all of each other to do this. That's also another layer of that. And that's why I've invited some other people that are here. I'm not going to call you out unless you raise your hand, but I've invited people from different dimensions of reality that I know hold this. I don't want to generalize and say everybody holds something in here. I'm just going to say we all have our faces pointed in the same direction, and it feels like towards the sun. That's all. Jackie. Oh, where'd you go?
Hi. Oh,
Hi.
hello. I got super excited when Steph talked about a panel on parenting, because that's definitely,
That's your jam.
yeah, it
That's
is my jam.
invited
Talking
you.
about it. What?
I said, this is why I invited you.
So I love sharing and hearing from others, and yeah, just raising that ego manifester and my sacral generator, the 4-6, with a completely open ego. So it's just really fun watching my past education come into educating kids and seeing it, like different parts of their design live out through watching kids be. And so, yeah.
Definitely a parenting space.
Yeah. It was just funny kind of seeing the 4-6, and I'm like, oh, I am a 4-6, and I resonate to those right now.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we identify first with those parts of the spiral. Yeah. So thank you for bringing your 4-6 beauty, parenting, on the edge of it, very humble, very just rolling with it like we all are. When we're all honest about the fact none of us know what we're doing, and we're all just kind of holding hands, rolling around, trying to do our best, facing our faces towards the sun, and being the best parent we can be. And so thanks for being here for that, because I think that's that's a very important dimension to bring here into this ecosystem.
Yeah.
Yay. Hello, sweet Monique.
I
Look at you, Miami.
Very
She's
Miami over here. I definitely, I love what you're doing. I'm so grateful to be here, invited into this. And my 4 line really feels locked into this kind of community vision that you're building. It feels really good. As I'm also creating a conference-like experience here in Miami, and I've really gotten to see the value of what happens when people come together. It's just incredible. And I've always known that's so much of who I am, but definitely see myself on the 4 line day, on the community side of things, dance partying, just communing, right brain kicking it with people. Definitely see all that, projecting my way into people's souls, the stuff I like, the stuff I'm in. And I definitely see myself doing some things with Amy. Like she said, we hold really incredible space together for this we do this like emotional balance thing when we're together, and it's palpable, and we've had so much lived experience now with it. We're so vastly different in design, how we're designed. We're so similar in so many of our core values. There's a beautiful resonance that happens there. So I definitely see us fitting in together. I see myself in the one line too, teaching some of that like foundational stuff that I feel can sometimes get overlooked. And then I get really annoyed when I hear people say it wrong. So yeah, I could definitely see myself there. The Virgo in me really wants to get some of that shit. So yeah, that's where I see myself.
Thank you.
And the parenting. I'm with Jackie too. I'm the parenting train.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. And so grateful you are here. And another thing that you brought alive in me as I'm watching you in Miami, talking about your experience that you guys are cultivating. Another thing that I want to bring into this ecosystem is a collaboration with all of us. We don't all have to agree on anything, but there are a lot of global events going on. And I would love for them to be available in the Spiral app, one place for everybody to see where all of the things are. Oh, Dewan is here. I'm going to let him in, even though he's so late. Frequency change. Hold on. Dang it. Okay. Oh, I was talking. There you are, Monique. All I had to do was see those glasses and then it was all coming back. I want to create some kind of ability for the global experiences to be available for all of us to see. And for our community to come together in some kind of way, I've wanted to go on like a circuit. I've imagined that we as retreat leaders can make a circuit and I could spend 6 months going from this one to this one. And maybe that's I have 7 fourth lines as a 6/2. So maybe that's my silly dream there, but it feels nice to imagine that as our global world changes, our global community gets closer. And I'm not sure exactly how that's going to work out, but that's my intention after we build this and get the facilitators in to talk to people like Monique and Lucretia and Talis and other people that are doing these kinds of embodied experiences all over the world and make them available to us. We're all here anyway wanting to do it. Why not put us together?
Annie's doing one too.
Who?
Annie. The reflector. Annie, the reflector.
Okay.
Event
Yay.
too.
Are you here?
No, not this year. I'm here.
Oh,
Not this
Annie.
year.
I thought you were saying Danny. Hi, Annie. I know you are.
Hello.
Hi, love.
Yeah, we're probably not doing anything this year, but we have in the last 2 years done our own conference down here in Australia. So I love what you were saying, Brandy, because that's my dream. Just have a world circuit. People can just bounce around.
That'd be fun. Have all the different experiences. A lot of us have traveled the globe, and I know that the experience, say, with European people is different than the experience that I've had with American people. Our cultures give and serve in completely different ways. And so there's these beautiful, more full comings together of the perspective. I'm a big believer in I have my truth with a lowercase t, and you have your truth, and you have yours, and you have yours, and you have yours. But we come together in fractals to make a capital T truth. And so I think other parts of the globe are really important to experience when bringing a big truth together like this. Hello, sweet Dewan. I was speaking about you earlier in your beautiful cosmology teachings. I'm so sorry that I'm not sorry about anything. Let me roll that back. That was just polite. I'm not sorry. Hi, I'm glad you're here, and I'll send you the video so you can catch up. Yes. Thank you for being here. Anybody else see themselves in the spiral? Hi, Casey Jade.
Hey, sis.
Hi.
So I've been on a really crazy cool journey this year, and I am now not only a badass empowered portrait photographer, but I'm also a money coach. And I would love to bridge the gap between human design and money personality and speak to each
different line and how we show up with our money and bridge that, as well as offer empowered portraits, do anything that I can to support you in capturing all of this beauty so we can market it to more people and get the word out there as much as possible. And anything else that my 1-3 sacral generator energy can assist with, because you know how much I love you. And there's so many cool options. I'd love to do a field trip, especially for the empowered portraits. I would love to do a workshop for money personality. I would love to do, anything for embodied space for like ecstatic dance and just feeling into ourselves. Anything that I can do.
Yay. My experience in one of the dimensional ways I've invited you is because in the place in my experiment in which this line two-ness, right? I was being my natural self and it was very impactful, but it was also provocative and I wasn't sure what people saw in me and I was real insecure and I was going from this side to this side. Casey took photos of me in ways that made me see myself, that in ways I hadn't seen myself before, and spoke to me in ways that brought out my magnificence in a way that I could see it. And in the psychological development of this, it's very important to be able to see that. And so Casey is here for that reason, one of the million reasons of her wonderful magnificence. So thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me. So excited.
So you see, I really would just love to have the threads of human experience be supported through this ecosystem with a common language of human design. Anybody else want to share?
I'll share.
Hi, sweet love.
Hi. I don't know yet where I would see myself in this, except for I didn't feel really lit up about panels. It's like any panel. Put me on a panel. I can organize a panel. Put me on a panel. I love just the discussions that come out of that type of environment.
Beautiful. I hope to have panels. We'll have some streaming panels and some not streaming panels. Yay. I'm telling everybody, I guess, why I've invited them. I didn't say the manifestors, but maybe I'll go back and do that personally. But I've been watching you develop this very groundworky kind of thing. Maybe it's not, you haven't developed it currently. Maybe it's been developed for years, but I'm just watching you bring it. Mm-hmm. And I think that this is a beautiful space to take that stall and help to nurture the ground so that the flowers grow, the seeds come next, and to bring you into this, I don't know, the spiral that helps develop those offerings in a way that are supportive to you, in a way that you need them to be supportive.
Yeah.
Not you trying to get into the world.
Listening to all the cool offerings that other people have already developed and put out there. And I'm like, those are really cool sounding. Yeah.
I want to invite projectors, specifically, I think, Talus. I would like to, because you are next to me, I'd like to invite you, if you felt to share anything about what is alive in you, what in the globe. I know you have eyes in a lot of spaces. And so I invite you to share your wisdom in this one.
Thank you very much. I like this spiral thing because I personally, I guess I was the most fascinated about the lines in human design since the beginning. And just like you, I saw this is a universal thing. You can see this in everything. So that was a nice surprise today to see, you have concept with this that I just had in the back of my head. I was like, that could be something. That was very nice that I see it manifested. Because I don't need to do it then. That's very nice.
Yeah.
But for me, it is so tricky to know what I will do or if I will do. I don't even know what I will eat tomorrow. I try to live a very surrendered life. So
yeah.
I love to share. I love to facilitate. I see myself in almost all of those aspects. Maybe the only thing that I'm not so good is dancing, and this is not my jam. I dance alone more like it than with other people.
All right, we won't make you dance.
No, I'm just saying, it's not where I see myself. But I do see myself for sure in experiential stuff, also practical. People always give me feedback on that I put things so easily that they get it. So that's something. I'm not really sure what that will bring, but that's usually what people give me as feedback. And what I see in the world regards that is this is a good direction with the high desert human design. I guess there were so many years now of just mental lecturing and filling up every corner of the brain. What I would like to see more, or would I also like to participate and facilitate more in, is more embodiment, aka experimenting and allowing myself to fail and see and learn. And I can teach all of this human design, so you can wake me up in the middle of the night and I can blah, blah, blah. But to really see, I see it with my partner. We almost daily speak about specific things that are so basic, but if you open them and you sit there and you allow all the trauma and triggers and everything to come up and not label it, and then see what happens behind that mechanically, it's just wow.
Right.
So I don't know yet, but I'm here.
And thank you for being here. And thank you for saying you don't know. I love how the universe is just teeing it up so perfectly, because you don't have to know. And I want you to know that. You don't have to, you just have to know you want a spot and how many minutes you want. And I'll give it to you. And then even at the moment of that arrival into the knowing, then you tell me and then we'll share. But until then, in the app, we get to have ambiguity. We get to build capacity for a person who knows in the moment what they will bring, and maybe doesn't even know, just brings in the moment their expression, to allow space for that. And so you have space for that here at High Desert Human Design. You just got to tell me, because of logistics, how many moments you need. That's all. So nobody has to know where they see themselves necessarily. And I thank you for bringing that to the table, Talis. We'll figure it out as it comes. I know I'm doing that at the Miami conference. I just recorded a podcast with her because we were talking about what I was going to bring. And I don't know. I just want to practice being on the edge of myself. And I don't know what the edge of myself is going to look like then. And so would it be okay if I just showed up and said, I'm Brandy and I'm going to be myself with you for a little while? And that's what I'm doing. So who knows what's going to be alive in me at that moment. Thanks. And I love that and encourage that. All right. I can't remember Merritt and Colin, if you guys are both projectors or just one. I want to invite. I don't want to step on the toes of the responder that didn't respond.
How are you? Yeah. Hi, Brandy. I'm Merritt. I'm the self-projected projector. And Helen is a generator, emotional generator, but he's defined by his nodes. So I'm trying to figure him out. So when I look at his chart, I don't feel like I'm one here. It's some kind of new. But yeah, last year we did 2 workshops, and one was, and unfortunately I didn't really promote them really well because I'm new to the human design world, but I've been practicing and studying it since 2019. But we do a lot of different things together. So one of them was warm data, and it's a practice founded by Nora Bateson that's like a sense-making practice. And I think it works with human design really well because her great-grandfather actually is the person who discovered genetics, the field of genetics itself. So I think these transmissions from Ra and Richard Rudd kind of fit into that blob of what are we made of and how do we actually talk about it. So my rough idea is to do that again, because it felt really good last year, but to just share with more people, like, what exactly is it? And it would probably fit into
It's like just
Which one?
Workshop.
Oh, yeah. Oh, for
Yeah.
sure. Workshop and maybe embodiment, or even if it was surrounded by the heresy of actually being in your body. That's a heretical thing. So who knows? But yeah, I hear you.
Yeah. And then, I don't know, did you want to share anything also?
Just to add about the warm data lab that we did, we discovered it felt like such a missing thing last year that there was no opportunity for the whole conference to come together to get to know each other in a way that never, and in this lab, in a period of 2 hours, we got deeper and further than we ever would have. And I don't think we ever, the names don't matter. We had this common language, or at least the human design language. I don't speak it yet, but I was able to speak it.
Learning it.
Yeah, I was learning it as
Yeah.
I was getting a deeper sense of it. But yeah, I feel like it's something essential that Nora Bateson has tapped into, a type of trans-contextual mutual learning is the technical language of what she branded as warm data, as opposed to cold data, numbers and figures and statistics, and nothing about us actually describes what we are when you put it on paper. But actually the warm data, the warmth felt between us, in the space between us. It was very rich. Yeah.
That sounds rich. It sounds beautiful. My 24 just went in all different paths. Like we could do an experiment about different aura types and the warm data between aura types, but there's so many paths that you can take to understand the sensory, energetic experience of being with one another.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Thank you. Thanks for being here. Here we go, guys. We are going to get in our bodies. Let me see other projectors, and then I'll give generators another opportunity to respond, or you can put your hand up anytime. Dear Fred. Hello, my friend.
Hey.
I know you did some beautiful embodiment work
Yeah.
last year.
Yeah, we did a workshop around play. And so I'm a drama therapist. So people play in this dramatic kind of way in scenes that they imagine together. And we did something that kind of moved towards that, and with projectors and reflectors. One of the things I was wondering about is the possibility of possibly having two rooms, because it would be very useful to be able to have a room where the play is happening, but separated sound-wise from another space where people are looking at charts, and then being able to shift back and forth between these two rooms for participants.
Okay. On the application, I think you already filled one out, actually, and I'll look at that. If it's not already on there that you've told me that, maybe you'll do another one and tell me that, and then we'll figure out logistics with the programs committee. Just tell us. That's wonderful. Thank you for bringing that up, Fred, because if there's something that you need, you guys, to accommodate whatever your genius or offering is, definitely share, and we'd be more than desirous to figure that out. It doesn't have to be this exact thing that I said, right? That's just the structure. So thank you, Fred, for that. And we may be able to do, these rooms are short enough ceilings that we may be able to do divider type things. I just don't know. I'd have to double check about the soundproofedness. But yeah, logistics, let us know, and we'll do everything we can to accommodate. And if we can't, but we'll do everything we can to try. Thank you, Fred. All right. I would love to invite Maggie. Are you a projector? No, generator. Okay. There it was. Nope, that's all I needed. Does anybody want to respond that hasn't shared, that has something maybe to share about where they see themselves in the spiral, or a question that you may have? And then I'll just move when we're done with this. No rush. I'll move to quickly a couple of other slides and we'll wrap it up. I know, Dawn, you weren't even here at the beginning, but I talked about you. You were here in spirit for sure.
I just got ready.
Oh,
Yeah.
go ahead.
Annie, are
I'm
you a
sorry.
projector? I didn't call on you.
I'm a reflector. I do have to skedaddle because it's the start of my day. I just wanted to quickly chime in. I know that I would love to attend because being over here in Australia, it's always can be challenging to get to a lot of these events, and it's been on my radar for a while. So that I've waited my process for years. I love this, Brandy. Thank you so much. This is really exciting. I'm going to sit on it and process, but I just wanted to say I've got to get going, and thank you so very much. And it was lovely to be in space with some of these amazing humans. And I'll bring my reflectorness at some ways.
Yay. I'm thrilled. Thank you for being here.
Take care, everybody.
Bye. Is it still alive in you, Dewan?
Yeah. I was going to say thank you for the invitation. Yeah. Very excited about what you were going to do with HDHD when I found out that you were hosting it and everything. And yeah, I don't know necessarily what to present. I have a lot of things in my bag, and I'm more so interested in what people want to hear from me as opposed to just what I have to say.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Do you have any specific questions? Because
That was genius. My mind just went, again, a billion places, but how wonderful, right? How could we support a creator who is a responder and quad?
3 parts, right?
3 parts right. Okay. Oh, yeah, we're the same. We're the same. So how can we support a 3 parts right generator? Maybe in the fun marketing of you and sharing you in this way. We create a poll or something where you come on a podcast and talk about your bag. And then people at the end of it say, okay, I want to hear this. I want to hear this. I want to hear this. So that gives you something to respond to in the moment. Maybe.
Yeah. That's doable.
Again, you guys, I would love for you to bring your individuation to the table and us play the puzzle pieces of how we make it work in the best way for all of us. Not how do you fit in Brandy's way, but how can Brandy's ecosystem support your authenticity? So I want to know what would help support your authenticity. And I know, Dewan, some of the struggles in the past, we've been growing up together a little bit. And in some of the conversations in the past, it is that I don't know what I'm going to do. And I feel insecure. That is not good enough. And so I don't know that there's going to be something to respond to. And so I just don't do it. And I want to invite you to tell me how to love you. I want to invite you to tell me how I can best hold a space for a generator to respond within and still be included in the ecosystem in a different kind of way.
Gotcha. What comes to mind initially, and it may not be a full solution, but I believe you said something about an application or a form to fill out. Some topics on the form could be something for me to respond to.
Yep. There will be on the form, there is all 6 lines and then all 6 dimensions of our lives, which I didn't really go over, but they're individual, relationship, family, community, collective, and spirit. And then there's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5, and they all have keynotes on them. So maybe that'll give you some play.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, I will do that and we'll see from there. And if there's something also that can be continually supportive or you come up with an epiphany, please let me know.
Will do. Thank you.
Can you remind everyone where the form is and how they can access it?
Yes. It's beautiful. Thank you, Moniz, always keeping me on the way. It's going to be at the end of this, but would it be okay if I continued to... Is there a burning share? It seemed like Daljit and maybe Jackie might have had something going on, and then I will show you where to get this information. Was that true?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just really a quick connection. I loved that idea for 3 parts quad generators. So I appreciate that. And I was thinking of like maybe that emotional authority generator too. And Jen can maybe, I'm not sure, but giving her a podcast earlier because she has amazing things she's already doing. So that she maybe has a lot more time to then be asked questions. But I don't know if that's actually something for Jen, but I just think it would be cool to get together with another generator maybe and just exchange questions to each other too, to help each other out.
Yeah. I love this, guys. What you're showing is this next step, the second spiral. After we like be ourselves for the world, now it's how do we hold the world to also be themselves? That's the next one. So I love that you've brought this to the table. And how do we teach people how to love us? I'm not all left. I am an ego manifester. I want everybody to be like me. How do I teach me to love everybody else in the way that they are? And so I want to learn. I don't know how. I know how to be me. But when I hear you come to the table and say, I don't know what I'm going to give because I've got to respond and this, and I know who you are, and I know it's been something that has been a energy alive in your body, I want to provide something to help that. So everybody, please, if you have something about your variable or the way that you see or the way that you respond or the way that you love to be invited, let's share that with each other.
I'll say something else because in my team, as far as my financial career, we're doing this as well, BG5s, and we just had our first meeting yesterday. And a lot of it is we're not in aura together. So we don't get that instant transmission that takes place, the unspoken aspect of it. And I posited that communication would be the key. That would be the bridge as far as to circle the information, because I have BG5, I have penta channels or a penta channel that somebody else may not have. And I would think about something to input into the whole dynamic that nobody else would say. So it's a matter of everybody giving their input and not expecting somebody else to automatically bring it up. Like, we're all valuable and everything it has a place. And so, yeah, that's what we're working on right now. Just getting the communication going and identifying everybody's gifts.
Well, is that we're doing that because it's great and wonderful to know that my input is valuable, blah, blah, blah. But what happens when I'm sitting at that table and my inner little girl has taken over because I'm really fucking afraid of saying what I'm about to say because you're different. And I'm afraid of that. So this is to hold the space for this experience and to put language, like you said, Dewan, communication is all that it takes. But if I don't know how to language the frequency that's in my body, I can't communicate it with you. And this is what we are doing. We're grown adults, but we still don't know emotional language. We get hijacked in our bodies and we can't say exactly what it is without taking 4 breaths. Maybe some of us in this room can, but most of us still have that frequency of emotional wave that comes into our body that wants to be a motor. And so, Dewan, how beautiful that you just shared. You are coming together in a new commerce kind of way to be able to understand money as resources in a different way. And go figure, humanness is coming up. So I love that we are providing the space to be able to move through humanness in all of the dimensions, right? You're sitting there in the space talking about finances and how to materially be successful. And you're letting feelings and fear and inner children all exist at the same boardroom table. And that is why you are here. For me, that was one of the invitations for me. Good stuff, guys. Hello, dear Daljit.
Hello, dear Brandy. Thank you for the invitation. It's wonderful to be here with all these beautiful souls. Yeah, like Dewan, I've got a big bag myself, and I'm not sure which has percolated yet. It's still all metabolizing, and which ones will sort of eventually surface. You mentioned structure. What I think I love, these are containers, which makes it more easily for me to steer things towards a lecture or a panel or a workshop. And I think that's really helpful. One of the things I'd be curious about as a quad or 3 parts, right, but 3-5 practicality is the next step in terms of a facilitator space, because I think a lot of us have some ideas that are percolating, and it might be good to be able to share, for instance, a panel or panel ideas that could come out from just dialoguing between facilitators where, the parenting one or the different types or. So yeah, I'd be curious about where we might be able to, and maybe that's the app, I don't really know, but the facilitator space for us to all dialogue and keep these conversations going. Really helpful for me.
Genius. Thank you. The app got a little delayed. I got to meet with the Google and Apple people again next week. I didn't do something right. So it got a little delayed. So I might do a WhatsApp for now. I have our councils. Just so you guys know, there are 6 councils that are stewarding this HDHT into fruition. There is a council for accessibility and community care. There's a council, a volunteer council, a programs council, a finance council, an IT council, a media council. So there's a bunch of people that have come together to help us market and express ourselves and put the program together and resource ourselves and all of that. What was my point in saying? It was that I have created these these groups in WhatsApp, but I'll add a facilitator space there in WhatsApp until the Spiral app is ready to go. Thank you. I don't know why I said all of that, just to say thank you.
Because you're right-minded.
Yeah. Thank you. Facilitator space. Because yes, you guys everybody talking back and forth would be very rich. And okay, so let me now share with you. Okay, so I'm just going to briefly share with you a little bit about the app. Those of you who saw me talk about this before have seen this, but I just wanted to show you what it's looking like. I invite them to get into their body before they do anything. And then they're going to be able to, how do we use the spiral? These are the different things that they can look into: embodiment space, field trips, panels. They can look at it from this way, if that's the way their mind works, right? Because maybe they say, I want to go to a lecture. So they can pick from this way, or they can pick from the spirals or dimensions of life. They can say, you know what, this conference, I want to work on myself. So then they just click on this individual button, and now it goes to what individual offerings are available at the conference, right? So you can pick from, I just want to learn something new, or I just want to embody, I just want to experiment, and then those things will be offered. So there are 36 different ways, right? If we put all 6 dimensions of reality and all 6 lines, that's 36 different things that they can choose from. What I like about this, it can be overwhelming, and you might get a little FOMO. And what I really love about this is that this way that I've done it encourages pacing. It doesn't encourage consuming. And I know that we are on the edge of wanting to have consumers, but we want to be impactful. So I believe that this edge meets both of those. It doesn't invite them to just consume everything at this one conference. It could be physically impossible. It does invite them to choose an area or areas of their life that they'd like to devote time to. And it has them do it in a way. Human design is such a big wisdom, and all of the wisdoms that we offer have so much to offer. This gives it to them in a way that's easy for them to digest and to bring into their life. And from a marketer's position, this has them coming back for 36 years before they finish everything. So it's self-perpetuating. So again, I will pick, okay, so say I want to work on myself. And so then the next screen is, okay, when I'm working on myself, do I want to learn something, or do I want to embody myself, or do I want to experiment with myself? Do I want to go connect with other people as myself? Do I want to say, you know what, I'm no longer that thing anymore, and this is the way that I need to be? Do I want to learn how to surrender as myself? And so then I pick that. And then the offerings come up, right? This is just an example that if I picked individual and I want to learn about how to feel safe as myself, I would go, oh, Brandy's doing a human design workshop from 12 to 1. So I'd be able to pick that, but I'd be able to scroll here and see all of the facilitators that have offerings. Okay, so this is I want to work on myself, but I want to embody myself. I want to be in the energy of my body. Well, I do a shamanic journey into the centers with some breath work. Okay, so go to Frenchie's field and see Brandy and go do breath work with her. So all of our offerings will be here. Everybody will have free access to the app 30 days before and 30 days after High Desert Human Design. The reason that I'm doing it that way is because I want to cultivate community. I want every facilitator to have a little community in here. You will have a page. You will have a little community page that people can get to know you. You will have a little spot that says, this is what I'm offering. Even if you don't know what you're offering, you can say, hey guys, I'm going to show up and be brave, but this is who I am and this is what's in my bag, or however you want to do it, but you'll be able to cultivate community. The reason that I did this is because I myself have very deep connections with you guys at conferences, and then I don't see you again. I don't like that. I wanted to be able to have you connect with me before and connect with me after. And the app is going to be used as the navigation tool, like the program for High Desert Human Design. So that this is how people will get to know where you are at and what room you're in, and all of that is through the app. If some of our elders have expressed concerns about having an app, and so for that reason, we will also have a paper program. Okay, conference navigation, facilitator visibility, optional community spaces. You don't have to cultivate community. I just want to give you the opportunity to. If you don't want to be in the app, if you don't want to create relationships or do any of that, if that is not part of your design, sometimes it's not part of mine, you don't have to do it. It's not required. None of this is required. I just want to keep saying that over and over. No requirements here, except for to play with me. Recorded session access. We're going to record your sessions. And what I would like to do is make sure that it's not just High Desert Human Design that gets resourced from your wisdom, that you also get resourced perpetually for anytime somebody buys that lecture outside of their ticket price, you will get a percentage of that. There will be a global community connection and event directory, and then additional spiral participation at cost. I'm going to have a WisdomKeeper call on the 19th that's going to go more into the spiral and the WisdomKeeper, which is supportive of High Desert Human Design. Because within the spiral, I have created a framework. So I'm just going to show it to you real quick. This is the time to do that. Almost done, guys. Thank you for bearing with me. Okay. Come on. Okay. I have created a space where your offerings can live. Your 1 through 6 offerings of self, relationship, family, community, collective, spirit, all of them. I've created communities. One-on-one coaching session platform is here as well in the app. Downloadability, so people can purchase your downloads, is here in the app. A newsletter where we all will contribute our wisdom. You can submit an article or whatever, and I'll put it in here of news from the spiral, keeping wisdom. It will be wisdom keepers in this ecosystem. We'll also have a podcast. I have a podcast called Keeping Wisdom that we will start together. You'll be able to create, you don't have to go through my WisdomKeeper program, but my WisdomKeeper program will help you do all of this. If you already have offerings built this way, we'll just put them in the spiral for you. Self, relationship, family, community, collective, spirit. Okay, so that is the app. And then again, let me go next. And then the WisdomKeeper. If anybody on this call is not sure about their offerings and the spiral and the whole thing, I've been doing a program called the WisdomKeeper that helps people move through this experience. And so I can help you between now. I have a program set up just for the facilitators of HDHD in the first year that I will take you through every month, starting in March until September, and we will create a forward-facing offering. So you'll have 6 of them that you can choose from by the time the conference comes, but you'll also have them here. So the WisdomKeeper pathway is the architecture that keeps your alignment intact. It reflects your lived truth and allows your compost to resource you, allows every step of the way of your spiral for people to get to know you. If people were to see my line 1 Human Design 101 talk, it was the most impactful thing in the world. It was powerful because the energy was fresh and coming through me. So that'll be in the spiral. But if I gave a Human Design 101 talk right now, I'm so seasoned and even a bit jaded, I'm not so excited about it anymore, the 101-ness of it, right? So this spiral will hold all of your brilliance in it. And then let me tell you, we're getting there, hold on. So if you want to, boom, boom. I'm going to give you that QR code in just a minute. But I did want to tell you, we're still at preliminary pricing. I wanted to share with you and be transparent about the money. You're facilitators. You're going to come and do your work, and it's valuable. And I wanted to talk about that because right now we don't have any seed money. I was not given anything from first 5 years to move into this year. So we are starting from $0 in creating this conference, which is beautiful. It gets to be fresh. And the Finance Council and I are creating a donation campaign. So maybe we can get some founders to seed this. There's about a 15 to 25, depending on how much work we do with people. We have like professional AV people and food and all of that. It's between 15,000 is just for the venue. 25 is for the other things. So I'm trying to raise money before we do ticket sales. I'm hoping that the ticket sales are to seed 2027 so that we only have to have seed donations this first year. And this could be the beginning year of it, and that it then self-perpetuates. So part of the model, again, preliminary pricing, but we'd like to have accessibility tickets, right? Some people want to do the full spiral. They want all the workshops. They want everything. Some people don't want to do a transformational experience. They just want to come and hang out with the community. Some people just want to look online. So we'll have options for all of that. And what does that mean for you as a facilitator? Oh, where did that slide go? There it is. I wanted to be honest about a mistake I made, right? I'm a 6th line. I got some 3rd lines. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm doing it as best I can. But a mistake I made at the very beginning when I introduced this to you guys at the very first time was to tell you my honest reality is that I want to give you 70% of whatever ticket you sell. After I've met with the finance committee, they told me that is not sustainable. And that is not something that I'm allowed to do. And so what I have put my foot down on is that a transparent after cost revenue share is what must happen. I don't know what the amount will be that will be shared in the revenue. I don't know what costs actually are going to be yet. I don't know any of these numbers. But what I do know is that this is the very first year. So you as a facilitator are going to be investing. I know for years and years, I go to these things and I don't get paid. And I watch people make money off of all of my talks all the time. Not bad, wrong, and shameful, but I get to be the one to do that. We get to be the ones to do that for our own wisdom and knowledge. And I want to change the paradigm that says that's even fucking okay in the first place, because I don't think it is. And so I want you to know that I stand on the side of paying you. I don't know exactly how I'm going to do it yet. So that you need to know. And I don't know if it's going to be able to happen this year, but know that it's happening. So I might even give you $6 this year or something, like co-op types stuff. But when we build, we'll build together. So here's how you move forward. And I know, Moniz, thank you for initiating me when you did, because there was still 23 people here. There's only 14 now. So I will send this in an email as well. I'm going to send this recording. I'm going to send the link to apply to be a facilitator. Remember, when I say apply, there's no hierarchy. There's no clickiness. I am not saying that you are not coming. I'm saying this application is so that the programs committee can figure out where exactly you'll fit. If I get 100 applications and there's only 40 spots, we're going to have to figure something out, but I'll be transparent about it. So I'll send an email out with all of these things. What's the next step? Submit your application. The programs committee will confirm, and then share with you your actual placement, right? What day and what room you'll be in, or what space or whatever. And that'll be down the line. I am going to do, so I have the WisdomKeeper Pathway Introduction on September 19th. If you are interested in working with me to get to house your offerings in the Spiral app, to have it be the place where you put your where you do your coaching, you put your courses, your evergreen courses and your cohort courses and your downloads and your everything, your YouTube videos, all of that. If you want to be part of that and you want me to help you cultivate your offerings in the Spiral of Everything, that's this one. That's the call on September 19th. This one, probably in March or April, I'm going to do a whole day lab. where I'll charge a little amount and we'll all get together and we'll develop our offerings in the spiral together. So you don't have to commit to a 6-month program with me if you don't want to. You could just do these working labs so that we can really cultivate the spectrum of consciousness we are bringing people through in your experience. If that makes sense. Oh, okay, guys, I think I finally did it. I did. So there will be an email coming. And I wonder if there's anything alive in anybody before we go.
I just want to say thank you, and that was brilliant. I like the structure, super important, and the teamwork. So I'm here for it.
Okay. Thank you for being here for it. Thank you, guys. I'm going to look at this chat real fast. And everybody, please share. Oh, I love you too, sweet love. Oh, I should have gotten that as a picture. Okay. Anything in the chat?
Hey,
Okay.
Brent, I have to drop off. Thank you so much. I'll see you soon. Bye.
You. All right, everybody. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Brandy.
I'm going to do another one of these on Sunday if that was too fire hose to the face and you want to come do it again. Probably won't be as good, though. You guys got the best one.